I'm guessing if you clicked on this video, you're thinking of adding some chickens into your life, and I say go for it. Chickens are very easy to take care of. They're pretty low maintenance once you have a setup. And in this video, I will share with you the bare minimum things I think that you need to raise your own chicks. Because really, there's a ton of gadgets and gizmos out there that you can buy. But if you're watching your budget, here are the only things that you actually need to raise your own chicks. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, my name is Michelle. I primarily share low maintenance, easy garden ideas, but I think gardens and chickens kind of go hand in hand. So now that I'm on my second set of chickens, I thought I would share with you some quick chick tips. In case you are curious or you have any other questions, I'm happy to make more chicken content. But to be honest, they're just so easy that I struggle with what it is you might want to know. So definitely add in your questions below and let's get started. There's really just three key things that you're going to need at this tiny chick stage for them to develop into healthy, beautiful egg-laying chickens or meat chickens, whatever the purpose is that you're wanting to add chickens into your life. And really, that is a safe, warm place for them to live, food, and water. Those are the three key things. Everything else is just fluff. As you can see, our chickens here live indoors, and they're going to live indoors with us for a couple of weeks. Yes, it does smell in this room, but it makes it very easy for us to check on them. And I know inside there aren't going to be any predators that can eat these chickies while they're still very young and vulnerable. In terms of their living conditions, they live in this very glamorous cardboard box. Yes, there are brooder products out there in the market that you can use, but I find a cardboard box works just fine at this stage. These first few couple of weeks, your chicks are going to need some supplemental heat. If they were with their mama bird, they would be snuggling under their mama every time they got a little bit cold. But because they aren't with a mama bird, we need to almost create a mama bird for them. You have two options when it comes to supplemental heat. One is adding heat lamps, which scare me because of things like fires, and maybe I'm just an overly anxious, scared person, but because I have that anxiety, I went with option number 2, and it was already something that we had, and that is a heat pad. This specific heat pad is a chicken heat pad. We don't use it for anything else because, as you can see, the chickens love to poop and chill and hang out in that area. I keep this in the basement for when we get new chickens. Basically, you plug it in, you turn it on high, and you leave it for the chickens to use whenever they get cold or they need a little bit of supplemental warmth. We did build a little platform for them out of scrap wood. That way the chickens are able to go under it, kind of like you would imagine they would go under their mama when they needed it. So oftentimes the chickens will sleep there. They'll hang out or loaf around on top of the heating pad. But that is really important the first few couple of weeks because chickies do need a little bit of heat. The sunbeam has worked great for us the last few years and we haven't had any issues with it. So if you're also kind of nervous around heating lamps, the heating pad has been a super effective alternative for us. And the last thing you need for the home is something for the floor. They are going to poop all over this cardboard box. See, she agrees. They are going to poop everywhere. But and anything else you'd like to say? Yes? Get it, girl. You tell them. Get yourself some pine shavings. That is something that you're going to be able to put across the bottom. And when they poop or when they spill their water, you can add spill all the things because that's what chicks do. Those pine shavings are going to absorb all the things that they are inevitably going to spill, and as they spill you can just plop another layer on top instead of kind of emptying the whole box and starting all over. The pine shavings that we have are from Tractor Supply. We use them in our chick breeders and we also use them in the coop when they're ready to go outside. Anything else I missed? Okay, now that we've talked about the chickies brooder and their living situation, let's talk about the last two things that are important for chicks to have, and that is access to clean water and food. Waterers and feeders are things that you're definitely going to want to buy. The first time that we raised chicks, we thought that we could just get away with using open bowls, but chicks are not the smartest animals. And while they are very cute and pretty, they will try to drown themselves in an open bowl. So go ahead and buy a feeder and waterer. If you don't want to make a trek to Tractor Supply, if there's not one near you, Amazon sells everything now, so it's really easy to get all of your chicken supplies and just get them shipped to your house instead of having to drive around to multiple stores. The feeders and waterers that we're using this round are the same ones that we used 4 years ago. All we did was wash it out, put them in the basement, and then bust them back out when we got this batch of chicks. Something to note when you're thinking about the food is that you're gonna wanna make sure that you buy food that is specifically meant for chicks. There are lots of different brands out there, but as long as it says chick food, then your chickens are going to get the right balance of nutrients that they need at this stage. You can buy them treats, you can buy them grit, but if you get chick food, it will have the right balance of nutrients and calcium and grit, everything all there in one product instead of also buying grit or oyster shells or anything else. To me, it's just so much easier to buy the chick food and not have to worry about whether they're getting the right balance of nutrients and whatnot. And then the other thing that we do buy, and maybe this is extra and we don't need to, when we got the chickens, there was an option to add in electrolytes for their water, and I did it. And I did it last time and it worked out, so I did it this time and it worked out. I've never raised chicks without electrolyte, but really it's so cheap and you use such a small amount as you're making their water. I figure it's worth just buying as it's something that's worked in the past. So I didn't even think twice, I just added it to cart when we ordered these chickens. Did I forget anything? No? Okay. So that's really all I bought to raise these chicks. As you can see, our brooder is, very fancy, and our chickens are very fancy. You don't have to buy the treats and the mealworms and the grit and the oyster shells and all the fancy brooders and stuff. Definitely get a good waterer and a good feeder. Make sure that the food that you're feeding them is formulated for chicks, and then just make sure they have a warm spot that is safe from predators, including any cats or dogs you might have around the house, so that they can grow for you into beautiful chickens that will lay eggs and bring you joy for many years to come. I like making quickie to the point videos, so if there's something that you have a question about, I'm happy to make a follow-up video. Let me know if there's something that I can help provide more information on, and if not, I will see you in the next video.